Hey, Kermit the Corpse here. I am standing with Killer Kyle and me and Matt, the Wheels of Fury. And we have a special for you today. And here he is, the man himself made Matt. Let us talk and make peace, because we've had some issues in the past. So, here we go.
Well, thank you, Corpse of Kermit the Frog. Yes, it is I, Killer Kyle, Matt, and I hope that you get to enjoy the, double episode. First, we'll be talking about Deadline.
Yeah, it looks just like it's going to be an interesting show. Have the Irish Survivor Challenge for the men and the women. Winner gets a shot at Braun Breaker and Mandy Rose for the titles. You got 5 men, 5 women, 25 minutes, most falls within those 25 minutes. At the end, you get the title shot. You lose a fall, you're in a penalty box for like a minute and a half. And yeah, very interesting dynamic. I've said this before, it's like a combination between like an Iron Man match and kind of like the King of the Mountain match.
Oh, I know. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. Still a lot of matches coming up.
There is something I have to tell you.
Oh.
Yes, I love you very much.
Lovely.
Yes.
Yes, and you know,
Wow.
I think
I
that the
never
best
actually
is...
Thought it was that way.
You're
Thank you,
interrupting me.
Kermit.
Yes.
But I have to know I love you, and you're my...
Anyway, so I'm Matt. Actually, the beginning of our show.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Oh, my tailbone. You two are going to pay with this, you shit.
Hey, Matt here. This is Killer Kyle. And welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury. And yesterday, obviously, we did the predictions for Final Battle. Ring of Honor is back for now, I guess. But today, we're going to talk about Deadline. NXT Deadline. This is the first ever NXT new pay-per-view. I don't know why I said first time, but a new pay-per-view, and hopefully it'll be better than day one. Day one. I don't know.
Yeah. New pay-per-view. New match concept, which we've gone into on a few Facebook Lives we've done. And yeah, should be a good show.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, that's the thing. We have a new concept, along with a new pay-per-view, the Iron Women's / Man's Survivor Challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, no time like the present. Let's go. Alright, let's start off with this. The two gingers, the two Scots women. Alba Fire versus Isla Dawn.
Yeah. I don't really remember too much of a rivalry between these two in NXT UK. But of course you have a last moment standing match for the championship between Alba Fire Mandy Rose. It looked like Alba was going to put Mandy through a table with a leg drop or who knows off the ladder. Then you got Isla Dawn coming up from behind and what seemingly looks like misting her in the face, although, I mean, fucking Tajiri could do better.
Yeah.
And costing Alba the championship, and now Alba's out for revenge. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Isla Dawn. Again, not really watching NXT UK that much. Or I never really watched it too much. So it'll be interesting to see these two styles clash. I think they're similar in a lot of ways, besides being from Scotland. They have that mystique. Like, yeah, that's it, mystique.
Yeah.
Witchy vibe.
Well, I mean, I said this before, and when Isla was in NXT UK, it's like, okay, you know, she's Isla Dawn. They called her the White Witch, I think, and it was just a nickname. Now they've actually taken it and made it into a character. So let's see where it goes. It seems to be pretty good so far.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing how much further it goes. Now, as far as a winner, do you give the win to Alba and have her like keep a win streak going and, you know, continue building momentum into an eventual rematch with Mandy Rose? Or do you give the win to Isla Dawn and, you know, start her going on the right track? You know, I'm sure it's going to be an introduction of Isla Dawn to a lot of people that may not have watched NXT UK either at all, or even if it was, you know, periodically from time to time, whatever. So, yeah, they both kind of do need the win. Who needs it more, though? I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, if they were polar opposites, I mean, yeah, they would very well more in a tag team, I think. I don't know much about what they were like in NXT
Yeah.
UK, so honestly, it's going to be a toss-up. I have no idea. I mean, it would be interesting to see what happens next after Deadline, but I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
A match for the NXT Tag Team Champions, or Championships. Pretty Deadly defending the titles against the New Day! Yeah.
yeah,
Kofi and Xavier.
that's going to be awesome.
And, you know, it's interesting how Xavier was on NXT for a little bit. I'd say maybe a year.
Yeah,
Kofi
Yeah,
was pretty much already on the, well, kind of main roster by then. No, he was on the main roster by then.
yeah.
And, you know, they eventually formed the New Day with Big E. They've been off and running. Hot commodity championships multiple times. Did hold the longest title reign, tag team title reign. Now it's held by the Usos at 495 days, I think. Something like that. And so to have Xavier go back to NXT and kind of Kofi, his first time in NXT, you could say, and I mean, against a pretty good tag team and Pretty Deadly, you know, it'll be very interesting.
Yeah. we talked about this in a Facebook chat. It's kind of cool to see guys from SmackDown go to developmental, if you will.
Yeah.
I think that, Dolph Ziggler as the NXT champion was a poor choice, in my opinion. Charlotte Flair, once again, becoming two-time NXT Women's Champion. I hated it, but that was only me and whatever. I honestly think the New Day as the NXT Tag Team Champions would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, even to see Kofi as the, have that lineage. He's already a Grand Slam champion. So let's put that on him. And Xavier's already been there. He hasn't had the NXT title or the Tag Team titles for that matter.
No.
So I'm actually curious to see if the New Day can pull it off.
Right, yeah, for sure.
And I don't know why they put the belt on Ziggler. I really don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I'm gonna go with New Day. And you know what? I'm honestly Pretty Deadly is probably one of the other most entertaining tag teams in wrestling. They cannot just wrestle, but they're pretty damn entertaining.
Like, this... the outlandish stuff that they do is funny, but they can also get in the ring and, take care of business. I mean, they're doing their version of The Night Before Christmas was actually pretty good. And then,
Yeah, probably watch that.
getting boxes stuck in their head and super kicked off the apron by Kofi and Xavier was really good too. And that seems to be the thing now with Triple H in charge. There's more comedy in wrestling, but it's comedy that makes sense.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, it's not stupid comedy, it's actually comedy that fits in. It's like, with Pretty Deadly, it was like, man, I hate these guys so much, and they're gloating, they're talking about, oh, we're the best at tag team, nobody can beat us, nobody can touch us, and all this other stuff. Like, it just makes you want to hate them that much more. And the whole thing talked about a few weeks ago with like the match with Miz and Dexter Lumis and the clamp on Dexter's head. It's like, it's funny, but it's one of those things like, what the hell are you doing, Miz?
Yeah, it was on, even the expression on Dexter's face when he had the clamp on his head.
Like, seriously?
Comedy is a hit or miss.
Yeah.
Like, I can watch a stand-up comedy routine and not laugh once. That's how tough that's how tough improv is anyways.
Yeah.
And over the years, with WWE especially, it's been a hit or miss.
Yeah.
And so, I didn't like the New Day. And by the way, they've been around for 8 years.
Yeah?
7, 8 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And, when they first came together, I was like, this'll be Xavier Woods' debut on the main roster, I guess.
Yeah.
The Big E was already there.
Yeah.
And then you had, obviously, Kofi.
Yeah.
To have them as the Southern preachers, if you will,
Yeah.
was kind of stupid, and obviously we know why.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, they grow on you, basically.
Like, we even have talked about this before, how Xavier stuck out his neck and was like, we'll be heels, within 6 months, a year, I think it was a year, we'll be heels and people will hate us. And if not, you can fire me. And well, it worked because, you know, they were hated, then they became loved, and they are where they are now.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes a massive set of cojones to, you know, put your career on the line like that and go, hey, if we're not heels by this certain deadline, fuck, fire me. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and then you go to Pretty Deadly from NXT UK, and like I said before, it's the Fashion Police meets the Midnight Rockers,
Basically.
or Midnight Express, whatever I said. You know, same thing.
Yeah.
But as much as they are a good tag team, and I'm pretty sure, you know, they will be champions again at some point.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's gonna be New Day Rocks. New Day Rocks.
I'll go New Day as well. Just see if if it'll happen and you know, what they will do as champions.
Yeah, I mean, they can have a fucking match with Punjabi guys.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Sangha and Spear.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did they change his name again?
No.
Oh. So now we have the first of the Iron.
Survivor challenges.
Yeah. We have the women's side. We've got Zoe Stark versus Cora Jade versus Roxanne
You don't have
Perez.
to put on the red light.
versus Kiana Jane
Yeah.
versus Indy Hartwell.
Yeah. Now we know the history between Cora and Roxanne. Kiana is still fairly new on the scene. Indy is really coming to her own since you could say having an attitude change, so to speak. Zoe Stark, you know, she did. It's interesting how with Cora and Zoe, they've really, you know, taken a different attitude and a different way of thinking with, you know, Cora turning on Roxanne, Zoe turning on Nikita Lyons. So, yeah, very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting too because you have Cora Jade going against Roxy in this match.
Yeah.
You got the Australian filly, Andy Hartwell, who, but yeah, no, honestly, thanks since Vince left. And I'm pretty sure Vince had a hand in all that shit last year.
Yeah.
It was, you know what, the wedding wasn't as bad as I thought.
Right.
But whatever, it's besides the point. I think
Yeah.
that Andy has improved a lot. So having her in this match would be pretty cool.
Yes.
You know, so we start turning heel on Nikita Lyons.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was pretty cool. I mean, I'm not sure where that's gonna go. It's your generic heel, you know. I'm
Yeah.
better now, and you know, I carried her on my back, and it's like, go fuck a donkey.
Go fuck a donkey, yeah.
Like seriously. God. So anyway, yeah. I don't know too much about Kiana James. I mean, I saw her wrestle a few times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me it's going to be a toss-up between Cora Jade and, honestly, Zoe Stark. I'm a huge fan of Cora Jade. I've said that since last Halloween Havoc. Yeah, so there it is. Actually, not War Games. Whatever. But anyways, yeah, I picked those two.
Yeah. Since Cora Jade did that dive off the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I'd like to see Roxanne win? Or maybe even potentially, this would be interesting, Indy Hartwell.
Okay. Yeah, that would be interesting too. I'd like to honestly see where that goes. I'm sure she'll be the champion at some point. I don't know. When she was in that tag team, I thought that was going to go somewhere. It obviously didn't.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's going to be a good match. It's going to be an interesting match.
for sure.
It confuses the hell out of me, I guess, until I finally see it.
Well, okay, what what exactly is so confusing?
It's the rules. Like,
The match is 25 minutes long.
like,
There's the 5 participants.
yeah.
You know, pinfall, submission, disqualification. You know, all that. You win a fall, you get a point. You lose a fall, you're in a cage for a minute and a half, like penalty box, whatever. But all it comes down to is it's basically an Iron Man match with more than 2 people. Most falls at the end of the 25 minutes. It becomes #1 contender.
Okay, well, yeah. Alright, well, I mean, like I said, I can't wait to see it,
Yeah.
you know. And just another one of the unique matches that you don't know if it's going to sink or swim, and I'm pretty sure it will.
Oh, it'll swim.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. So, yeah. Well, it's just another wait and see.
So, the men's side of the Iron Survivor Challenge, you've got Carmelo Hayes, JD McDonough, Grayson Waller, that got cut in half for some reason, Joe Gacy, and Axiom.
Oh, Axiom, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still getting over J.D. McDonough stretch Axiom's leg.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know you're flexible when you can actually work on that or whatever. Sell it.
Oh, yeah.
Because honestly, if that happened and he came back 2 weeks later, that's, yeah,
Yeah, really.
that's not realistic. But anyway, yeah, this is going to be a good match.
Yeah.
You know, unlike the women's team, well, actually, no, that's not true. It's not Axiom's time.
No.
You know, JD, you know, in NXT UK, Jordan Devlin had a really good run.
Mhm.
He was a good last cruiserweight champion.
Yes.
So, there's no chance in hell of Carmelo Hayes going over.
Probably not.
You know, you have Grayson Waller. Yeah, I definitely could see that. And as much as I'm a huge fan, oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say, okay, here are my picks then. I've got J.D. McDonough and Joe Gacy. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna stop saying how much of a fan I am of Joe Gacy and Schism.
Yes.
To have them have a title, I think would make them more relevant staple.
It would be very interesting to see Joe Gacy as NXT champion, let's say.
J.D. McDonough definitely could pull it off too.
Yeah.
You could have many, many matches with him.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, yeah, for me it's going to be those two.
Yeah, I don't think they should put Carmelo Hayes in that spot yet. Axiom is too soon. JD McDonough, there's a lot of potential for him. Joe Gacy, there's a lot of potential for him. Grayson Waller, there's a lot of potential for him too.
Yeah.
So I mean, Axiom's a definite no. Carmelo Hayes is a no. So the other 3 are possibilities. Who would I want to see challenge for the NXT Championship? I'm gonna take JD McDonough out of that picture because he's already had his chance. It didn't succeed. So that leaves Gacy and, yeah, Waller.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I said, Joe Gacy would be very interesting as champion. Everybody hates Grayson Waller by now. He's actually done a very good job as a heel.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if either one of them are ready for that spot, though. Of like being, in the main event spot, so to speak. I think out of those two guys, that would be, you could say, more ready than the other. I'd go Grayson Waller, honestly.
Yeah. Instead of having Zion in the match, you could have had fucking
Von Wagner?
Yeah, you could have had him.
Could have, yeah.
That would have made a lot more sense. But regardless, that's gonna be my pick,
Yeah.
But now we have our last match for the NXT title.
Yeah.
We got Braun Breaker versus Apollo Crews.
Yep.
Apollo!
Oh!
So let me see if I get this straight. You have a lot of good lead-ups to these matches in your main event in recent years. And I know Apollo and Braun are both good guys, both baby faces, whatever.
Yeah.
This isn't Outdoor Life Network. You're having Braun Breaker out in the water, being peaceful, going fishing, and then you have literally a cup of coffee, and then you got Apollo coming in, ordering a cup of coffee, and then talking about beating him at deadline, and I need this more than anything, and blah blah blah. What the fuck is that about? Like, seriously. I don't normally nitpick about that shit, but seriously. This was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It's a competition. Yes, I understand the friendly aspect of it. It just was kind of the lamest thing I've ever seen. Yes, I get it. You like to go fishing, you like to do this, you like to do that. Okay, who gives a fuck? And I almost feel like one of those old school guys. Like, we're back and, we didn't do that, we did this, and, we worked out, and, it was just lame to watch. It's gonna be a good match, honestly. And if my cards are right, and if what I'm reading is right, it appears that Braun Breaker is going to be going to the main roster. So, if that happens, regardless if that happens, it seems like you're hyping the hell out of Apollo Crews. So, in that case, yes, let's have Apollo Crews go over. But these vignettes were just, to me, they were just off. Like, that's the way I saw it anyway. Is it going to be a good match? Yes, it is. You got these two powerhouses, but for my money, I want to see Apollo Crews go over.
I don't exactly see what was so lame about those vignettes.
I can't really explain it. I'm watching it and I'm going, I'm sorry. Is this a sitcom, or is this hyping me up for a competition? Because like I said, they're both faces, and I get that. It's just, I don't know what it was, something just didn't make sense to me.
You got two guys that are, we can say buddies, friends, what have you. you know. Okay, Apollo Crews is like, man, I came back for one goal. Want the NXT Championship. And he's talking about, said, you got a lot of people out, Braun Breaker, you got a lot of people after you. Well, I'm on that list too. I want next, whatever. So the match comes about. And you got Apollo Crews writing in his journal about how he wants to be NXT champion. He's dreamed of it, he's got unfinished business in NXT. And with Braun, it's just like, when he's out on the water, it's him in a boat on a lake fishing. Nothing else matters. Just him in a boat on the water fishing. Pressure's off of being NXT champion. It's just serene, peaceful, quiet. All you care about is fishing. Once you get off the water and go back to business, you worry about defending the title, who's going to be your next opponent, when your next defense is going to be, blah, 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 blah. And they're just kind of chummy about, hey, I see the pressure's starting to get to you, and, Braun's like, I'm still at my best, I'm still really good, I've taken on all comers, and then they've just been, joking around with each other about, I'm going to take the title from you, I'm going to keep the title, I'm going to beat you, it's just, it's that friendly, like, they know what they're getting into as far as the match is concerned, and, the goal of, the championship and, what comes with being the champion, but it's not lost on them that they're still seemingly close friends.
Yeah.
And just having that kind of camaraderie, we'll focus on Deadline when we get to Deadline. Right now it's just, us hanging out, on a, Braun fishing, Apollo, hanging out at a diner and, writing in his journal and just being two regular dudes.
Well, I guess. Like I said, it's going to be a good match. I know that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And it just seems like I don't know what the future is going to be. Now, you take into consideration that Dominic Dijakovic just came back.
Yeah.
I can't remember who he was targeting.
Wesley.
Yeah, so that could be another factor. I mean, did Braun and...
Von Wagner.
Yeah, wasn't Braun and Wagner's match a disqualification, or did they...
No.
Oh.
Braun beat him.
Right. Yeah, well, I don't know. I think it's going to be a good match. I honestly will say Apollo. Because I could see Apollo go for a lot more opponents in the future.
Yeah.
And I honestly think it's time for Braun to have a call-up. There's a ton of things that he could do. He could go for the United States Championship. He could go for the Intercontinental Championship. Eventually go for the WWE Championship. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whenever that comes about.
See, I don't know the likelihood and the potential, the possibility of Braun going to either Raw or SmackDown. Will it happen? I'm sure it will. When? Who knows? As far as the NXT Championship is concerned, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily see anything wrong with Apollo being NXT Champion so soon since his return. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, Is the timing right or is it too soon? Don't know. Is it too soon? Potentially. But like, with things been going the way they've been going for Apollo so far, is the timing right? Also potentially. It really all depends.
Yeah.
Not saying that he can't win the title, it's just a matter of will he? And I don't know if he will.
I mean, you also have to take into consideration the winner of the Iron Challenge.
Yeah?
You know, that's a possibility too. And then go from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, as much as Braun has carried the title, I think it's been very well, but I'm going to say Apollo.
I'm taking Breaker to retain.
Okay. So anyway, this has been another episode of Wheels of Fury. And yeah, a double episode. So tomorrow afternoon, obviously, is final battle.
Yep.
And then night time, I guess, we're going to have...
The evening was Deadline.
Yeah. So, join us next time. I do not know what we have.
Well, winter is coming. It'll be next week, but I don't know what we're doing as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, I know. I gotta get a pull up about that and see whether... Actually, if you're watching this, post down below to see if you actually want us to do NXT takeovers or winter's coming, you know,
Yeah.
stuff that's usually on a Dynamite or a regular NXT.
Yeah.
You know, other than that, I have no idea what else is coming up.
Yeah, I mean, like, once Final Battle and Deadline are in the books,
Yeah.
winter is coming, and then, you know, not long after that, head into Christmas, and then, yeah, I believe once Deadline and Final Battle are done and over with, that'll be it for the year.
Yeah, I mean, you already head into next year. You got Hard to Kill, where you have New Year's Revolution,
Yeah.
uh,
Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble. So, yeah. I mean, if this is the last review we're gonna do for the year, except for a Christmas special
Yes.
or whatever, then it's been one fast hell of a year.
I know.
I'm sure we'll still be doing our, you know, video chats on either YouTube or our Facebook page.
Yeah.
You know, but it's been fun. Really
Right.
has been. So, I don't see anything happening right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything happens, we'll let you know.
Yep.
But, yeah. So, for me and Matt, this is Killer Kyle. And we will talk to you next time. Deuces.